Alright, our YouTube video is uploading now, as you can see over here. Still needs 6 minutes. It's only 6 minutes to go. A very quick message. Look, just because you know how to say no, just because you can resist effectively and stand your ground and will what you will, that doesn't mean you're alright. Because if you stand your ground, but your ground is on the enemy's camp, well, I clap my hands for you. You have an applause. You stood your ground, but you're still on the enemy's side. Your thinking is still not in line with Christ. So yes, you can stand your ground, and you can demand respect for your decision, for your will and all of that. But if your will is not in line with Christ, it's not in line with God's will, you're in the negative. And don't be mistaken. Demons will praise you when you are in the negative, defending yourself. And that's what a lot of people do. For example, if there is a drug dealer out there who is selling drugs to the community, well, people can be against that. But one individual is born again is against that because he sees that that guy is relying upon money, and relying upon money is idolatry, and he sees that this reliance upon money is trapping a lot of people. And that guy also says that a lot of people want relief from emotional pain and childhood traumas, and that's why they go to drugs in order to function. So someone is born again, looks at the bigger picture, and he sees that people are seeking relief. And it is this relief seeking, whether it's through making money or through using substances, that keeps the darkness going. So he's against what the drug dealer is doing, but he still wants the drug dealer to be saved and to be delivered, and as the people that are using the drugs. While you may have someone else that becomes upset and says it's against the law. Everyone needs to obey what the law says. Blah blah blah. They are against what the drug dealer is doing, but for the wrong reasons. Because their reasons are self-centered. Their reasons are based on self-validation. Their reasons are based on relief-centeredness. They want people to just comply with the rules so that everyone is at ease. And they don't even check whether those rules are just or whether those rules are all right. Maybe the one is selling drugs because maybe in their instance they don't have anything else, because maybe they've applied for 50 jobs but they couldn't get any job, and the government doesn't even give them welfare, so they need to eat some way. Maybe there's a woman out there who's prostituting herself. Why? Because she needs to have some income for her children because her husband left her for another woman. But you see the prostitute and you look down on her and you begin to cuss her out, asking yourself why such people just don't pass away and go to the lake of fire and leave the world behind for those who do glorify God. There are believers thinking like that, and they don't look at the bigger picture, seeing that that woman that's selling her body, she doesn't want to be there, but she kind of has no choice to be there, and people are now taking advantage of her. The same can be with someone that's selling drugs. Maybe there was a someone around them that has had a debt, and now that the individual is kidnapped, and now they're selling drugs in order to free that. You don't know what's going on. So just because you can be clear about how you think about something, even if your reasoning is factual, you can still be wrong. Your reasoning can be factual and because that's correct, but if your mind is not in line with Christ, you're wrong. You're in the negative. And there are a lot of people in the negative that have correct arguments, but are still in the negative. So that's why don't take confidence in your own ability to say no and to defend your stance and all of that. The world is teaching you that, and in some instances that's practical. But look at the bigger picture. Who are you agreeing with? Because if it's not in agreement with Christ, you're wrong. Plain and simple. Well, I'm going to close this recording now. I've used the example of people selling drugs and people prostituting themselves, but I could use more examples. Just understand this. Just because you're against something, even if the thing you're against is indeed wrong, you can be correct in being against that thing. But if your mindset is not in agreement with Christ, you're wrong. You are correct, but you're wrong. Just because you are correct doesn't mean that you are right. If you're delivered, you are right. If you're not delivered, you're wrong. That being said, be at peace.